somebody who is stuck between a decision to move forward and a decision to invest further. This is most likely about a romantic relationship, but it could be about a project or a career or a friendship. But we've got this hanged man energy, which is the suspension, right? We've got the Ace of Cups, but it's coming through in the reverse. Ace of Cups in the reverse is like someone who's not confident on whether or not they can trust you or whether or not they should allow you in their inner circle. And then we have the Ten of Potions or the Ten of Cups, which is about as confident as you can get as far as the cards that talk about love. Ten of Cups would be like happiness and a sense of belonging. I just feel like it's not quite bright enough in here, so give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so there's just some doubt and trying to figure out, like, is this something that can be salvaged, or do I just need to cut my losses and move along? So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, or a lot of wind chime time. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member and how to own one of the candles that I make. Let's start off with the... we're going to go with the... Hold on, it's there. The Charles Dickens Tarot. All right, what else? All right, so we have David Copperfield and Philip Purup for the Hermit. Now this one, forgive me, but I do need the book on this one just to make sure that I get the appropriate literature applications. Granted, I do feel like these are two of the more recognizable. So for the Hermit one, oh, are you towards the back? Indeed. Okay. So for the Hermit card, we have Philip Purup from Great Expectations. And it says, traditionally, the simplest card of the major arcana, the Hermit of the Charles Dickens Tarot, is, like the novel representing it, Great Expectations, deceptively simple but decidedly complex. That which the Hermit is searching for or from, which he is trying to escape, is a matter of perspective, contingent on the position it holds within a formal pattern. As with the layers of an onion or the concentric rings rippling on the water's surface, the Hermit's meaning is layered, requiring the reader to peel it back. It is affiliated astrologically with Saturn, which governs limitations and fixed attitudes. The presence of the Hermit card calls on the reader to open up, allow others in, and let their true feelings out. We've also got the presence of the Hermit card in a formal pattern indicates a need for liberation. I don't know that we have like a formal pattern here, but I do feel like liberation is on someone's mind because we have this like suspension energy between like, I love this person or I want to be with this person, but I also don't know if I can stay in this connection. I don't know if I can stay in this friendship or this dynamic. So sometimes it implies social death, exile, or rejection of the Maic world of illusion. So we could have somebody who is basically deciding to pull back, right? And then we have David Copperfield. Is that... No. I think this is the Son of Air. Sorry, y'all. It's a big book, but it's worth it. There he is. So David Copperfield, this says, amiable boy, enthusiasm in spades, sensitive, open-hearted, artistic soul, restless spirit, a fair and fine figure, downright lovable, may be something he's not, something of a dissembler, cute as the Dickens, makes his own opportunities, the hero of his own life, learns from suffering, heartfelt focus on family, a weakness for driveling, and shows a marked inability to discern where truth ends and falseness begins. Wow, okay. So part of our issue here is we are dealing with somebody in a relationship where they are not necessarily able to discern whether or not their partner is being honest. I feel like this person has integrity, but only 25% of the time, or only 50% of the time. And then I have to figure out what I actually can believe or what I can actually trust. Hello, Danelle. How are you doing? Hello, Angel Guides. Hello, Tiana. How we doing? Thank you. Hello, Scott. What's up? So, in other words, we have somebody who's thinking about pulling back and not really interacting as much socially. And in part, we have that happening because we've got somebody who is particularly charming. And yet your intuition is saying there might be more to what this person is actually showing, right? Maybe something he's not was called out in the book. So this is the Pope Tarot. Let's see what else we've got for you. I'm glad to hear that, Angel Guides. What else do we have? We have the Hermit again. We also have the Sun and the Nine of Swords. So again, a reference to going off on one's own or taking a path a little bit less traveled, getting away from the noise of the crowd. In part because we have some discovery here of someone's true character. So it could be, you know, yeah, there's a party I'm supposed to go to. It's Friday night. Yeah, there's some happy hour, but you know what? I think I need to spend a little bit of time to myself and think about my current situation because I don't know if I can trust this person. And I really need to figure out whether or not I can trust them because if I'm going to be friends or if I'm going to be in a relationship with this person, that trust is pretty important. Shoot, even if you work with them, right? Page of Cups. And Death. Okay. There's been a shift in somebody's like playful energy or their mood, which is part of the reason why there's some doubt and some question marks as to, you know, can I actually trust this person? Maybe I've given them more credit than I should. The David Copperfield character or this card that I've pulled, it references somebody being very friendly or amiable. People like this person, but sometimes you're tricked by those people, right? Sometimes they're charming, but also deceptive. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? What else do we have? Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Hanged Man in the reverse. So when someone tells you that they're trying to make up their mind, the truth is they've already made up their mind. They just don't want you to know yet. They don't think it's advantageous to communicate their decision yet. King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the King of Swords in the reverse. So the reason you feel like something is off, the reason that you're not really feeling like you can trust this person is because they're saying one thing while thinking another. Or because you can pick up on the fact that they're pulling away while they're looking at you and saying, oh no, I think you're great. Or however the mix-up is, they're wanting you to think things are this way when they're really headed this way. They're waiting for a certain moment. This is the Pro Tarot. What do you mean by the main? Stephen, if you are looking to get familiar with the 78 cards of a tarot deck, there is a pretty structured, like reference point or set of cards, but you would want to look up Rider-Waite. Waite has an E on the end of it, and Rider has a Y. Right, no. Wait, I think it actually is with an I. Now I'm second guessing myself. But Rider-Waite would be the imagery that most tarot cards are based off of. Oh, okay, so then you know. If you missed something, you can rewind it. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you mean. I just don't understand what you mean by the main. Hello, See the Gray. How are you doing? We've got Five of Candles or the Five of Wands. We tremble with the violence of the conflict within us, of the definite with the indefinite, of the substance with the shadow. But if the contest have proceeded thus far, it is the shadow which prevails, and we struggle in vain. So again, we have somebody who's making it seem like they're still thinking something over. They're still mulling it over. I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want to leave. I don't know if I want this job. I don't know if I want to move out. But the thing is, this person has already made up their mind. They just are uncomfortable with this Three of Swords, this difficult, like, I guess I have to disappoint you now. But the void within my heart refused, even thus, to be filled. I longed for the love which had before filled it to overflowing. We have someone who is disappointed or feeling left out in the cold because they are not getting what they want as far as attention or that connection from David Copperfield. David Copperfield or the Hermit. This does not need to be a man, but that is a really good way to kind of describe this character, right? Lovable, but somehow a little bit distant or difficult to trust. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? There's emotion and like a desire to be kind. There's friendliness, but there's also deception. Someone who is trying to make it seem like things, thank you, Tiana, like things are better than they are, or that there are no problems where there definitely are some problems. So we have from every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. So there's a problem here. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to give too much credit to it, or they don't want to let you know that something is as big of a problem for them as it is. They're keeping things kind of close to the chest. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. I know. Communication is a struggle for a lot of people, and I think it ebbs and flows as far as being able to do right by that communication or not. I take personal questions after the general reading. Otherwise, if it's more of like a philosophical question, sometimes I do those. I prioritize the personal questions based on super chat or donating a membership, or if they're just a really nice question. 8 of Honey or 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Songs, and the Sun. So the 8 of Honey would be the 8 of Pentacles. And that talks about mastery of a skill or putting in a lot of effort. And I feel like this is the person who aligns with David Copperfield, the very likable, friendly, but maybe is tricking people individual. This is someone who I feel with the Ace of Songs or the Ace of Cups is like the person having to decide whether or not to continue on with this David Copperfield, right? So do I want to be with this David Copperfield? Can I continue to trust them? Because I've put in some effort here. But I don't know if they're just smiling and nodding or if I can actually trust what they're saying to me. The effort, though, I don't know, it makes me nervous. I normally think that the 8 of Pentacles is a good card, but it kind of makes me feel like we have someone who has put in effort in order to be able to like schmooze or make things sound better than they actually are. Hello, John. How are you doing? It does, at least for most people, right? So we have Temperance in the reverse, Queen of Dreams, which is the Queen of Cups, 2 of Honey or the 2 of Pentacles, and the Wheel in the reverse. Yeah, this is someone who's already decided that we are not going to work. This is not something that can work long term. But with the Queen of Cups being here, I feel like it's like, oh, sorry, that's the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, you can kind of tell too, because look, it's kind of like stern energy here. That makes me, okay. So the coldness is because of the, I already know that we're not really a good fit for each other. You're picking up on the change in the mood or the change in the connection because there has been one. And even though you know how to right the ship or get back to the right path, there's still something here that feels off to you, even if you work through an argument. And it's because the David Copperfield or Hermit energy here, there's something a little bit fake to their energy. Well, I wouldn't let that prevent you from meditating. I would think that had more to do with something outside of your meditative life. So we have the Hierophant in the reverse and the 7 of Songs or 7 of Cups in the reverse. Don't stay committed to or remain aligned with a person who is trying to pretend like they have integrity or morals that aren't actually that important to them. It looks to me like we have with the 7 of Songs in the reverse, some ability to see through an illusion. With the Ace of Honey or the Ace of Pentacles, this is an opportunity for you to see that even though you might find this hermit individual to be quite charming or quite aligned with you in other ways, if you can't trust them, then that's going to prevent you from being able to have the kind of relationship you are looking for. Now, for some of you, maybe you're like, it's not that big of a deal. That's fine. I'm just struggling to see how that's true when they're coming through as the Seven of Swords. There's some element of like trickery here. Eight of Songs or the Eight of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Dreams or King of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this is generally talking about exes, kings and queens of swords. And the Tower could be the breakup. Eight of Cups, walking away. This feels to me like I have to time it perfectly. I know that I don't want to be in this relationship any longer, but I have to tell you about it, at the end of the month. So I have to get through, what I've paid for rent-wise. That seems to be a concern. All right, let's see. This is the Egyptian tarot. Hello, Invisible. How are you doing? That's true. I hope she's okay, Steven. This is, did I tell you? Maybe I already told you, the Egyptian tarot. We've got another Hierophant in the reverse. Yeah, again, I feel like this is someone who wants to project a sense of their character or wants to be seen as more moral than they actually are. So they might be the type to have a roster, or they might be the type to need that like external validation, or they might be the type to betray your confidence. Maybe they're sharing things about your relationship that you would rather be kept quiet. But we have something to do with communication and honesty that is not meeting your standards. This person is not doing right by what you expect of them. They are keeping some sort of illusion alive here until the timing is right, and then they feel like they can be honest. Yeah. Secretive energy with the moon. But we also have the sun following right after the moon, which talks about the truth coming out. And then we have the Seven of Swords as well, which is that trickery. So I don't think there's much time before this information comes out or before this is exposed. And you end up realizing, like, you have confirmation of whatever this person has been trying to trick you about. So I think this is a relationship that's about to end. I think they've been pretending that things are fine when they're not. I think there's going to be some sort of an argument or finally a confession of things not being okay. And with the stars in the reverse, I think you pick up on it before this actually is talked about. We have the World, conclusion or an ending, a decision being made, but the decision is made and then not discussed. Knight of Wands in the reverse. It's like, I don't know. I don't think I want to deal with that just yet because it might make someone angry. Let's just keep the peace until the end of the month, and then I'll get all my things collected and then I can move out, right? Hello, Texie. How you doing? Thank you, Tiana. All right, let's see what else we've got for you. This is the Fairy Lenormand. Number 33, the key. Number 2, the clover. And the cloud, number 6. The snake, number 7. Yep. So you have strong intuition or discernment, and it's trying to give you a heads up that basically the sooner you walk away from this connection or this relationship, the better it is for you. That you don't need to be connected to this David Copperfield hermit individual, this person who, yeah, they might be super charming, but they don't seem to want to be honest with you about their intentions. They come through as a snake. Somebody who is pretty comfortable with being misleading with you on their intentions or what they're thinking about your connection. I still feel like it's really like dark in here. Why? All right. Let's get a few. Sorry if that's loud. Let's get a few from the noisy tarot, shall we? Hello, Teamster. How are you doing? What else do we have? Justice. King of Cups in the reverse and the 7 of Pentacles. So I know that there's something that feels off between the two of us, and it feels like you're not investing in the connection the way that you used to, but I can't get you to talk to me about it. With the 2 of Swords, we've got someone who's literally blindfolded, right? They don't know what's actually going on. They're trying to figure out what's changed and trying to see if the person that they've been dealing with, the King of Wands, is hiding something. And they are. We have the Devil. So this could be somebody who, like I said, maybe they're just trying to make sure that they time things correctly because they live with you. Maybe they're trying to time things correctly because, I don't know, they don't want to owe you money for that concert they went to with you last week. There's something here where it's like, I'm just going to wait for a little bit and then things will be better for me to end it. But they already know that they're not interested in being with you. For some of you, it's because there's a future event you've already got planned. Like, oh, well, I just want to go with Mexico or go to Mexico with you first, and then we can break up. But if I break up with you now, then I miss out on that fun thing, that opportunity to travel or, you know, meeting, I don't know, some famous person. We have this 6 of Wands as the goal. I want this to happen first, and then I'll be honest about how I feel or the fact that I don't think we should really be together. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? I do too. What else? Yep, 7 of Swords in the reverse. So they're not going to be able to maintain this trickery for very long. You keep getting little messages or pings, like little red flags that make you feel like you can't trust this person, that there is something that seems to be off or something that has changed, especially with how they were communicating. You missed the shark onesie. It's right over there. I'm looking at it. I don't know. It's going to be like so hot nowadays though. I don't know if I could suffer through that for too long. It's cozy, but once it gets hot, it'll be difficult to wear that. I know. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I'll get like a cheaper one that's thinner. That's what I'll do. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, this just feels to me like you realize that you are offering up this Queen of Pentacles, like this companionship, this reliable, responsible partner energy to a person who's taking that energy and just kind of like fake smiling at you. So it makes you question, like, am I offering this cup of love to somebody who has very little to offer in return? Or decided a while ago that they didn't really want to offer that? Because we've got the King of Pentacles coming through in the reverse. Not looking at a long-term relationship or not serious about the connection. Hello, HP. How are you doing? Hello, Cosmo. Hello, Dan. Tiana, you're fun. We've got the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Swords in the reverse. So listen to your intuition. It's guiding you about this person. If you feel like a shift has happened with a person you've been talking to, I don't know that you're necessarily exclusive. I would think this is more so either you've recently become exclusive or you're thinking you might become exclusive. But there's a change here in terms of how much this person wants to interact with you or the way that they talk to you. And it makes you question, you know, have you decided, is there something here that has changed for you? Have you decided, you know, it's not working out? Or if you're living together, they're deciding, gosh, you know, after living with you for a little bit, I've realized maybe we have a really different lifestyle approach or a different way of doing things. Hello, Rick. How's it going? This is the Marigold Tarot. What else? Five of Rings or Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Queen of Cups. Two of Rings or Two of Pentacles. And the Nine of Rings or Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So you just keep coming through with this really like genuine, caring energy. Like you just want to be good to someone, but you're coming back around or being too patient with somebody that has shown their true colors already. So this Two of Pentacles or Two of Rings, this is like, you can balance things with this individual, but it's never going to sit right with you because there is something off with the connection. Because there is something here where this person has decided that there isn't a long term. So don't like get comfortable in the illusion when you've already recognized that it is an illusion, right? Hello, Katerina. How are you doing? Yes, this is the Marigold Tarot. Hello, Jayla. How are you doing? What else do we have? We've got the Nine of Swords, Justice, and the Seven of Rings or Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, see, they're bothering you. And I don't know that you would put it in so many words. I don't know that you would say it like that, you know? You would probably be like, this situation is getting under my skin. It's because they are not treating you the way that they should if they felt the way that they say that they feel. We've got Justice and Seven of Rings or Seven of Pentacles. So there's a call to action for you to make a decision on whether or not to invest more with somebody who is relying on their charm to keep you just kind of quiet for a little bit when they could be honest about what's really going on or what they're feeling. The Hierophant, the Ten of Rings or Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands in the reverse. Because one person is thinking about the long term, Hierophant, Ten of Rings, Four of Wands. All of these can talk about a long-term relationship. But we have one person that's looking at it with Four of Wands in the reverse. There's instability here. I don't see it working out long-term, but I can't tell you yet. And the other person is like, oh, no, this is going to be great, right? Why does it feel weird? I thought we were going to be great. Aren't we perfect for each other? Maybe not. They don't seem to want to tell you about an issue, something that makes them feel like the two of you cannot be together. Death, King of Cups, and the World in the reverse. So I'll let it go on for a little while longer, or I feel like I need to wait until the end of the lease, whatever it is. There's a timeline on it. Like, I have to wait a little bit. I can't be honest about it just yet. Not yet. This is the Burning Heart Love Oracle. Oh, sending you protective energy, Katerina. Hello, AN. Oh, yes. It's one of my favorites. It's Dude's favorite. The Marigold Tarot. I think I had found that one on Etsy. It's probably one of the more expensive ones, too, actually. So we've got, we're meant to be together. I will wait as long as it takes for a shot with you. That's the King of Wands, the person who is determined. Like, it feels like we should be together. So why does it feel different? I want to apologize. I need your forgiveness. This would be our David Copperfield or the Hermit individual. I haven't been honest with you. I'm afraid of commitment. That commitment that you're so eager to have is terrifying for them. Sounds good, Sam. We have, I hate seeing you with them. This person gets jealous because they feel like it's, they don't feel confident in the connection. I really do care, even though I don't show it. I can't go another day without you. And I want to make you happy. I miss your smile. There's some genuine affection here. There's just like a, I don't think it's going to last the long term, which seems to be getting in the way. All right. Thank you, J-Lo. Let's see what we get for you. What is my salsa teacher's real intentions with me? What is the salsa teacher's real intentions with J-Lo? Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Temperance. And the Two of Pentacles. I do feel like there's physical attraction here. But with the Page of Swords and the Four of Cups, it feels to me like this is someone who knows that they're not really the greatest with long-term commitment. Might actually kind of relate to this reading, to be honest, J-Lo. Because it feels like we have someone who's charming, someone who's able to, how do I say this? They make friends easily or they draw people in, but the longevity is the issue. I don't know how to make something work past 3 weeks, you know? Wheel of Fortune, World in the reverse. It's like, it's great for the time that we have it, but that's all that we get to have. So if you're okay with having like 28 days of bliss, cool. But otherwise, it's probably going to be frustrating because I don't think this person knows how to do the long-term commitment or actual like partnership with someone. There's crushes, there's desire, there's even, you know, I might fall in love with someone, but there's a pattern of self-sabotage, of Four of Cups, rejecting, just like assuming that things aren't going to go very well. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.